And where is our damn music, Evan? Why
I
can't
don't know.
I can never find it. Anyway, it's the list.
Let's
There's
cut to the chase.
yeah. Well, I didn't even hit to go live, so and we're live. There we go. Ta-da! We're like magicians and shit. I hit to go live and we went live.
All right, we're in there, huh?
I'm gonna have to share that YouTube, the show we did Sunday, because only 8 people went back and watched that, and I think I forgot to mention how screwed up we were in the beginning, which YouTube caught. So
Yeah.
I might have to share that later after this show. So it is the list. Tonight we were doing the top 180s. Let me share this real quick. We usually have a theme song going, and I couldn't find it. I got too
Oh
much.
well.
I got too much stuff opened up on my computer. I almost need a third screen. I really do. And I got a big ass screen. I'm sitting here in front of like a 38-inch TV, and then I got my laptop screen. But I got
Wow.
so many programs running, which I want to give a shout out to my laptop because it is a running mofo.
Hmm.
But it's easy to keep it that way, and I'm going to tell you my secret to keep a long-lasting PC. Don't watch porn on it.
Oh no.
So, and I don't. I do not watch porno on my. And honestly, I'm getting ready to hit 50 years old. I don't
It's
watch.
not exciting anymore.
No, I don't want to watch a bunch of porn. I got better things to do. You know, I don't. If I have to answer to Jesus, I don't want him to have the stats. Well, Al. Well, Al, looks like you spent 1,586 days masturbating.
You're like, and
Yeah.
time well spent.
Is that the record? Did I make Guinness?
How did I do?
Yeah. Let me set this up here so I can read the chat. See, I got another screen open on a different thing so I can see our chat room because I can't when I'm doing the list. So you just want to jump in? Oh, Evan, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Have you practiced any for
What, singing?
Yeah, for Sunday?
No.
Have you found
Good.
a song?
I'm sure it'll be a Donna Summers, but I
Oh,
just don't know what.
okay. I don't know, man. 70s, you could go. I didn't say what it had to be disco, did I?
I thought you did.
Oh, okay. Let me go. I'll have to go back and check because see, I was thinking if I would have lost and had to do a 70s song, I think I would have done like Convoy.
First rap song.
Right, right. Anyway, gang, let's get to it. This is the 100 best 80s song voted by listeners to make up the ultimate 80s music playlist. So, look, don't get mad at me what's on the list or what's off the list. We just read the list. 100, Super Trooper, ABBA.
Super Trooper. I don't even know that one by ABBA.
The song became the band's ninth number one hit in the United Kingdom in 1980.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have to go listen to that afterwards. 99, Like a Virgin, Madonna.
Yeah, that was huge.
98, I don't know if I remember this. A Little Respect, Erasure. I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't. 97, Here I Go Again by White Snake.
Yeah, classic.
I was kind of
Hair
pissed.
band classic.
Yeah, I was kind of pissed to see her dancing on those cars.
Oh, those Jaguars, they were
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, but her doing cartwheels and shit on them, I was like, ooh, ooh,
I'd
bitch.
let her do it.
Yeah. No, I don't know about now. 96, You Spin Me Round, Dead or
Uh,
Alive.
I hated that song.
You Spin. 95, I thought this would be like top 10. Don't Stop Believing, Journey.
Oh yeah, huge song.
94, I love this song, man. Take My Breath Away from Berlin. And I used to have the biggest
Mm-hmm.
crush on that chick.
Mm-hmm.
And she was doing all that blonde and black highlights before any of y'all hoes. So just letting y'all know, you ain't bringing nothing new to the table. Number 3, or 93, Duran Duran, one of my favorite songs, Ordinary World.
Mm.
92, That's Entertainment, The Jam.
Huh?
I have,
That's her.
it's alternative rock.
Okay.
And focuses on the frustrations of the everyday life as a working class citizen. Oh, it's in the UK. 91, I Feel Love by Donna Summer. Number 90, I'm Still Standing, Sir Elton John.
That song's annoying.
Yeah, it is. And I like a lot of Elton John's, a lot of his 70s and even some of his 80s stuff I like, but that song,
Yeah, he had a lot of crap too, like "Bitches Back" and stuff like that.
yeah,
Just horrible music.
yeah. Uh, I don't even know this. 89, Together in Electric Dreams, Philip Oakey and Giorgio Moroder.
I think I might know that.
88, Temptation, Heaven 17. Never
Hmm.
heard of them. 87, Dire Straits, Money for Nothing.
Yeah, that was big.
86, How Soon Is Now, The Smiths.
Oh, great fucking song. Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
85, Master of Puppets, Metallica.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I agree with that. 84, I never was a fan of these people, and I even got to walk out of one of their concerts. The one I love, REM.
Yeah. That was a good song though. I'm not a big REM fan, but that was a good song.
83, Ghost Town, The Specials. Let me go back to 84, because when I saw REM, like the guy was like sick.
Oh
And
yeah, he had cancer or yeah,
yeah,
brain tumor.
and he just it wasn't any good, and the sound didn't help. The sound with the venue or whatever was just freaking horrible for every band, not just REM. But
Hmm.
so I don't want to be like a hater. 83, Ghost Town, The Specials. Never heard of it. 82, I thought this would be down. In, damn it. We lost Evan. Hold on. See if it'll pop back on. 82 is In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Great song. 81. Probably one of the only. I'm sorry. I just wasn't a huge fan of these dudes. I mean, they were cool and I listened to them. I didn't hate them. Chili Most from Coast to Coast.
I'm back.
All right. Evan, 82 was In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
Oh, what a classic.
81, Ace of Spades, Motorhead. I'm not going to lie. Probably the only Motorhead song I know.
You know, There's another one of those bands, hugely popular. I've never known anybody to get into them, and the only song anyone knows by him is Ace of Spades.
Right. But they did have some cool T-shirts because I did have a Motorhead T-shirt back in the 80s.
Yeah, I couldn't do him. No.
Number
Nah.
80, the super freak himself, Rick James, bitch.
Great song.
79, Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson.
Mm, yeah.
78, I love these dudes. Let's Groove Tonight, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Good song.
77, Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top.
Good song. Great video.
76, Fairy Tale of New York, The Pogues. Never heard of them.
Don't know that song.
Oh, 75, great song. I mean, I liked a few of their songs. This is the one that I really liked. 75, Run to the Hills, Iron Maiden.
Oh, classic. Love it.
74, they could have left this down because I hate this fucking song. And they still play it to this day for sporting events and shit. The Final Countdown, Europe.
Yeah, it was cheese. That was hairband cheese.
73, In Between Days, The Cure.
I don't know that. I was never a big Cure fan.
72, I'm sorry. I think this has got to be in the top 10, whether you like the band or not. It was iconic. You think 80s, you think Back in Black, AC/DC. Yeah, I think they got that way too high. 71, Push It, Salt and Pepper. Me and Evan are going to karaoke that on our second year anniversary.
Oh, really?
70, Fool's Gold, the Stone Roses. I hope to God nobody remembers that.
I know what you're talking about. I didn't like them.
No, I'm talking about nobody remembers what I just said about me and you singing Salt and Pepper, Push It.
Oh, gotcha.
69, It's Raining Men.
The Weather Girls or something.
Yep.
Yeah,
Kyle Moyer also sings that song.
I'm sure he does.
68, Smooth Criminal, Michael Jackson.
I like Michael.
I did too. 67, Walking on Sunshine, Katrina and the Waves.
Yeah, that got run. Yeah,
That's
whatever.
that's another one of them songs that and it's like played at every wedding and
Yeah, like most '80s pop stuff, just so overdone.
right. Could You Be Loved, Bob Marley and the Wailers is
yeah,
coming in at 66. 65, the song I used to pleasure myself to, Eye of the Tiger, Survivor.
really. My sister's met the guy from the band. That he lives up in the Chicago area. She's met him like Starbucks twice. He's always out all over. The guy who wrote the singer who wrote that song.
Well, tell her the guy her brother does a podcast with used to pleasure himself to Eye of the Tiger.
I'm sure he'll be interested to hear that.
See if I can't get an autograph hat or something. A sock. One sock. 64, Summer of 69, Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
63, sure, it's a nice day for a white wedding.
Oh, yes.
Billy Idol.
Great song.
62, I've had the time of my life. Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes played at every fucking wedding.
Oh, yes.
61, Thriller, Michael Jackson. Great video. That video, when that video came out, that was game changing.
Well, yeah, and there was only like 20 videos out at that time,
Right.
so it's to set the standard.
Right, he did. And he did it with every video, and I don't think Michael Jackson gets the credit that he deserves for really blowing up MTV.
Oh yeah, he made it. Yeah, quite a bit.
60, another wedding song, Celebration, Kool and the Gang.
Yeah.
59, Footloose, Kenny Loggins.
Ugh.
You know what, though? There is a Kenny Loggins song that I absolutely love, and I can't remember the name of it. Maybe it's on here further down. 58, Start Me Up, the Rolling Stones.
Classic, yeah.
57, You Make My Dreams Come True, Daryl Hall and John Oates.
Yeah.
56, one of my favorites, I still jam this. Should I Stay or Should I Go, The Clash.
Yeah.
55, Uptown Girl, Billy Joel. Great video just because Christy Brinkley's in that.
Yeah, it's not one of his best, though.
No. 54, West End Girls, Pet Shop Boys.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
53, one of the still people do that to this day. When you get rickrolled, I'm never going to give you up, Rick Astley.
That's an 80s staple for sure.
52, I had a chance to go see these people. I turned it down. Love Shack, B-52s.
I like the B-52s.
Well, you should have went because I didn't.
I can understand why you didn't, though, but I like them.
51, All Night Long, Lionel Richie.
All night long.
Another big MTV staple when it first started. Number 50, Jump, Van Halen.
Huge.
49, I had this on 45, Total Eclipse of the Heart, Bonnie Tyler. 48, Under Pressure, Queen.
Yeah.
And 100 Best 80s Song, the Ultimate 80s Music Playlist, as voted on by internet people. 47, Physical, Olivia Newton-John. Freaking hot in that video. She's like working out.
Yeah.
I might watch that. And
that might replace Eye of the Tiger.
I know. Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds.
Yeah.
45, Every Breath You Take, The Police.
Yeah.
44, Evan. Once I Get That Feeling. Sexual Healing, Marvin Gaye.
That was 80s?
Yeah.
I was thinking that was 70s. Huh.
It was,
okay.
Yeah. It doesn't say when it came out, so I'm going to have to check that. But it says it was ranked number 233 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time.
Ooh, okay.
In 2004. 43, What's Love Got to Do with It? This woman, even at her age, had the best looking legs on MTV. Tina Turner. Her legs were just amazing. 42, Free Ballin' Tom Petty. God damn it. Free Fallin' Tom Petty.
Yeah, it's a good song.
41, Fight the Power, Public Enemy. Great song. You ought to go listen to it now. It still holds a lot of truths. 40, I Love Rock and Roll, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. 39, Another One Bites the Dust, Queen.
Yeah, it was huge.
38, You Gotta Fight for Your Right,
The Party.
the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, that song is so simple and cheesy, but it stood the test of time. I mean, people still rock it out.
Go listen to Paul Revere, though. Still one of my favorites. Africa, Toto. I don't mind that song. If that song comes on the radio, I will turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good 80s staple.
I mean, I roll the windows completely up so nobody can hear outside. And 36, Call Me, Blondie. 35, With or Without You, you too. Sorry.
Boring song, kind of.
34, Straight Outta Compton, NWA.
Yeah.
Game changer. Game changer. 30, I don't mind this song, and it might be one of my guilty pleasures that I'm leaking. Red Red Wine, UB40.
Oh no, I do not like.
32, Come On Eileen, Dexy's Midnight Runners. I'm not going to make any sexual
Comments?
comment. I'm going to skip ahead to 31. Hungry Like the Wolf, Duran Duran.
Yeah.
Going back to 32, if you do come on Eileen, and without permission, she could give you a restraining order, just saying. Number 30, Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses.
Mm-hmm.
Did I skip one? No, 30, okay. 29, I Just Called to Say I Love You, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. That was probably, I'm not a big Stevie Wonder fan, but that was probably one of those better ones.
Who dialed the fucking phone for him? I think
whoever you are. He just kept sticking his finger in there and hitting the rotary, you know.
28, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Def Leppard.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be up there.
27, Endless Love, Diana Ross featuring Lionel Richie. Now, this song was in a lot of soundtracks for movies, but one of the best ones has to be Happy Gilmore.
Oh, was it in there?
Yeah, it was. So go watch Happy Gilmore again. One of Adam Sandler's best movies. 26, Like a Prayer, Madonna. Wasn't really a fan of that song.
No, more controversial than anything.
Yeah, 25, When Doves Cry, Prince and the Revolution.
Oh, yes.
24, I knew it was going to be up here high. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
And 23 is Born in the USA by the boss, Bruce Springsteen.
You know, that song was huge, but I can't stand to listen. Well, like most Bruce stuff, I can't stand to listen to that today.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I was never a fan of his, but
I would change the station if that came on.
Yeah. 22, another song that kind of changed a lot in music, I think. Walk This Way, Run DMC featuring Aerosmith.
And it brought Aerosmith back.
Yep. Number 21 on the best 100 best 80s songs, Billie Jean, Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm. I love that song.
20, I dig this song. I can listen to it. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Tears for Fears.
I wouldn't think that would be up that high on the list.
19, Gypsy, Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to. I hope it ain't the last Fleetwood Mac song on there, because they had a lot of great music in the 80s.
Yeah, well, yeah, 70s, but yeah, 80s too.
18, you go to any kegger that I went to in my 20s, you heard this shit. You Shook Me All Night Long, AC/DC.
Yeah, it's a staple.
17, Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi.
I'm sure. Yeah, you got to have a Bon Jovi up in there.
Yeah, I think you could have threw that out.
That was probably his biggest.
16, I was really hoping this song was in the 70s because I was going to recommend this song to you. I'm Coming Out, Diana Ross. 15, Gold by Spandau Ballet.
Spandau Ballet?
Yeah, there you go.
Gold?
I never heard it.
I remember them, but I don't remember the song Gold.
14, I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Uh, 13. I don't even know if I've heard this song. Two Tribes. Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
I might.
I wouldn't put that high on the list, but interesting song.
Number 12. Poison Arrow. ABC.
I remember, but vaguely. Wow.
Number 11. Fade to Gray. Visage.
Huh. Wow, they're pulling all these at the top of the list that I
I
really wouldn't.
I, I know. I
They're
don't.
not that memorable,
No.
or
I
I'd remember them.
15 through 11 kind of sucked. Number 10. Take on Me. Aha. Great video.
Mm-hmm.
Great
Mm.
video.
Good song.
Number 9, Personal Jesus, Depeche Mode.
Good song, but not that high on the list.
Yeah, I don't think so either. 8, Vienna, Ultravox.
I'm lost.
I am too. Number 7, Purple Rain, Prince and the Revolution.
Okay.
6, Sweet Dreams, The Eurythmics.
It was huge. Still is.
Number 5, Blue Monday, New Order.
I wouldn't put it that high on the list.
No. Number 4, Beat It, Michael Jackson. There's some of them
Sure.
I'm with, and then there's some of these that I'm like, man, I never even heard this shit. Number 3, Relax, Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah, two Frankie Hollywoods in the top
And
10. I mean,
yeah,
they were a little blip, but they weren't that significant. And those songs were Relax was bigger, but Two Tribes was not.
number 2, this one is shocking. Small Town Boy, Bronski Beat. In a western town, small.
No, wait a minute. Pet Shop Boys?
No, Small Town Boy.
Oh,
It's by a dude named Bronski Beat.
yeah. You were singing West End
Oh
Boys.
yeah, I was, wasn't I? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that song, or maybe I do and don't recognize it.
Number 1, I don't think neither one of us is gonna agree with this.
Uh,
Don't You Want Me, The Human League.
No, gosh, I do not agree with that. Okay, I'm blown away because I kept thinking, Welcome to the Jungle has got to be way up high. If they even had Sweet Child of Mine on there, Welcome to the Jungle was
Has
huge. I
to
mean,
be on there.
it's listed as like number one hard rock song by like Rolling Stones and everything. Like, I can't believe Welcome to Jungle's not on there.
Yeah. That was audiocaptain.com we got that from, so there you go.
Interesting.
And that was voted on, you know. Now, if you do, what time do we got?
728.
Is it really? All right, we got. Hold on. Now here, let's run through some of these. This is Billboard, so this is going to be the top songs of the '80s, and see how close. Where in the fuck's the list? I gotta subscribe. Are you kidding me? Oh, Billboard.
To get your list?
Yeah, no, I ain't doing that. So I don't know. If you want to, you can go do that shit. Here's VHS 100 greatest. Let's see. They got number 1, Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi. Number 2, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Def Leppard. Number 3, Hungry Like the Wolf, which was not. That wasn't on there, was it? On that last list, they had Ordinary World.
I thought there were two Duran Durans on there.
I don't remember, but we'll do the top 10. Number 10, You Shook Me All Night Long, AC/DC. 9, Walk This Way, Run DMC. 8, Like a Virgin, Madonna. 7, Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses. 6, I Can't Go For That, No Can Do by Hall & Oates. Number 5, When Doves Cry. 4, Billie Jean. 3, Hungry Like the Wolf, Duran Duran. Number 2, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Def Leppard. Number one, Living on a Prayer. I don't know if I agree with that one. I think
they're all in the ballpark. It's it's
yeah,
subjective.
yeah, they're top 20. I'm just not. I never was a huge Bon Jovi fan, so
No, but that
it.
song, he had a
I
lot of
know.
hits, and that was probably his biggest. I mean, it was kind of his first one that really went huge. Yeah.
And here is no, I just did that one. That's VH1, but yeah, like this one, Walk Like an Egyptian, the Bangles, With or Without You, YouTube, YouTube, U2, How Will I Know, Whitney Houston, and Don't Stop Believing, Journey. That's almost kind of more doable, I think.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. That list to me, thumbs down. I don't think they were close.
I'm surprised there weren't a lot of the one hit wonder staples, the men
Right,
without hats, the we can dance if we want to,
right.
safety dance.
And you don't put no Men at Work on there?
Yeah, I would think that would be on there. That I'm too sexy for my car, was that 80s or was that 90s?
Yeah, I think that was 80s.
Um, there was just so many one hit wonders that were just so huge, cheesy songs.
Yeah. Yeah, that they never did another,
Yeah, it was like that's the last you heard. I don't know. It just seemed like the decade of one hit wonders.
oh, I think I might have found a way around this. Oh no. Yeah,
Claudia said not not one Eagles song.
no.
That's interesting.
And Wham.
The Eagles, they were, I think, a more 70s, but I guess they were up into the 80s. But I think of them as more 70s.
Here, let's give you a couple number ones from the 80s. Uh, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Please Don't Go. Michael Jackson, Rock With You. See, that is Michael Jackson's greatest gem, is that first album before Thriller. That is off the wall. That is a
Hmm.
great album. I still listen to that. Captain and Tennille, do that to me one more time.
Huge hit, but I think the 70s there.
No, it's 1980,
Hmm.
February 6th. Well, that's when it became number one. So here, but yeah, I mean, Dolly Parton was 1981 with 9 to 5. Uh-oh. What's that? What do you got there, Evan? Oh, the rock and roll.
It's called the Rock and Roll Years, and but it tells us what the hit was every week,
D-
UK and US and everything.
and dude, Jesse's Girl, Rick Springfield. How do you not have that in the top 180s? Steve Miller Band, John Mellencamp, Jack and Diane.
Oh yeah, that was big.
It was horrible, but it was a big song.
Agreed.
And one of the dumbest songs. Well, like you said, here's a one-hit wonder. Tony Basil, Mickey. How big was that song?
But that was, oh, I was about fifth or sixth grade. Was that 80s then?
Yeah,
That might have been right around 80.
1982.
Was it?
Yep. And then Men at Work had like several number ones in the 80s. Here's one. Oh, I just missed it. Down Under. Toto was on there for Africa. David Bowie, Let's Dance. Uh, yeah, some of these were on there. But Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson, Say. That was huge in the 80s.
Yeah,
Yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart.
very big.
There was no Culture Club on there.
Yeah, how could you leave out Boy George?
I mean, not a huge fan of it, but when that shit came out, that was popular.
Yeah. or Wham for that matter.
Yeah, that, George Michael, Wham. Wake Me Up Before You Go Go went number one in 1984. Was Foreigner on there?
No,
I want
I
to
hope
know.
not.
Yeah, I want. Yeah, but that song was huge, dude.
Yeah,
REO
Eye of the Tiger was on there.
Speedwagon. Yeah, there's a lot they missed. A lot. John Parr, St. Elmo's Fire, the great 80s song. He did a lot of those
Yeah.
for movies and shit. Mister. They were 80s.
Oh, I hated them. Oh, boring music. Just ugh.
Oh, and what about the chicks that I like? The Bangles. How
Oh,
do
Bangles and the Go-Go's.
Yeah, Bangles Walk Like an Egyptian, number one in 1986.
You're right. That should be on there.
Yeah. Huey Lewis in the News. How can you say 80s and not remember a Huey Lewis in the News song?
Right. Right. He was, yeah. He was big.
Bob Seger. I'm sorry, you almost got to put this chick on there too, and I know she had a couple hits, but that Tiffany,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying I like these people. I'm saying they should have been on that list. In Excess.
Yeah, but I just don't know if they had a hit big enough that would have one of the top 100, I mean, they did have some.
Yeah, that I Need You Tonight went number one January 30th, 1988. So, yeah, I think George Michael should have been there. He had a lot of number ones. And what about Bobby McFerrin? Don't worry, be happy. Da, 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 da. Poison. I'm not a huge fan of Bret Michaels, but come on, man. Poison was tearing up the radio.
Talk dirty to me, and
every time one of their songs started to kind of lose ground and start dropping on the charts, they'd release something else, and it would just, man, Poison stayed on the charts. Yuck. I'm glad this one wasn't on there. Fine Young Cannibals.
Ugh.
New
Yuck.
Kids on the Block. I don't.
Yuck.
Milli Vanilli. Why weren't they on there?
Because they weren't legit.
Bad English. I don't know, man. But see, George Michael was not on that list one time. He had 5 number ones in the 80s. Michael Jackson had 9. Madonna at 7. Whitney Houston at 7. Phil Collins had 7 number ones in the 80s. George Michael had 5. Lionel Richie 5. Daryl Hall and John Oates 5. Stevie Wonder 4. Bon Jovi 4. And Prince 4. That's interesting. Evan, do you want to take a guess? It was on that list, and it was a female. What song in the 80s had more weeks at number one than any other song?
Like a Virgin?
No. Not even in the top 5. It was Olivia Newton-John holds that.
Oh, right. My next one would say Eurythmics or something.
She held it for 10 weeks. Betty Davis Eyes and Endless Love held it at 9. Every Breath You Take, The Police was at 8. I Love Rock and Roll, Ebony and Ivory, and Billie Jean both enjoyed 7 weeks at number 1. Blondie, Call Me, Kenny Rogers, Lady. I think you got to put Kenny Rogers on there. He had a few hits in the 80s.
Was The Gambler of the 80s?
I think so. The Jake Isles Band, Centerfold, Survivor,
Freeze Frame, and yeah.
Eye of the Tiger, Irene Cara, Flashdance, Paul McCartney, Say, and Like a Virgin all held number ones for 6 weeks on the Billboard charts. So there you go. I think we did a pretty good 80s breakdown tonight, Evan.
We covered them. It's funny that there were some on that other list that I just did not ring a bell with me.
No.
Maybe if I heard them, I would.
Yeah. So there you go. The 80s, I think we're done with the 80s. We could maybe move on, do some 90s next week or something. I don't know. We'll take a break in between doing that, though, and we'll find something else, another list to do. And then maybe here in a couple weeks, we will maybe do 90s movies. And I kind of want to do 90s music now, because to see songs that I didn't see on that list that I started to look up and found out it was like 90 or 91 it came out. So we still in the early 90s were trying to drag the 80s with us. You can tell in the music and everything, but then it just took a real sharp turn left.
It seemed like there was was it in the 90s where just everything became acoustic for a minute? Everybody got tired of the synthesizer pop, and it was like, okay, let's take a step back. Let's kind of get back to our roots of making, real music. And you had a lot of the unplugged and stuff like that. And it seemed like to bring back the guitar music oriented rock for a while, and then that kind of disappeared, and we went back to synthesizer pop music.
Right.
We tried, but I think the 90s was it just felt like a good decade where we were trying to recover a little bit and get our senses. I don't know, that's the way I saw it. I was not a fan of 80s music overall.
I remember hearing one of the hair band guitarists. He said when he first caught on to Nirvana around 87 or 88, and he saw them growing and everything, he said he knew they were in trouble. That party anthem, putting a party anthem song on an album and throwing a couple ballads on it, that shit wasn't going to fly anymore.
To me, one of the most significant was Welcome to the Jungle. That was one where it was like the hair bands were getting out of control. It was like, we need to come back to some straightforward metal, rock. And it was no frills. It was just, and they came out, and it needed to happen. Yeah. I think it was one of the best things with that genre of music.
Well, and I think in your hair band era, when they first came out, they would be like LA Guns. I'll use them for an example. I love LA Guns. Their first album, I had some of their shit before they got famous. I was huge LA Guns fan. And then the last few albums, they just got soft. It was almost like, and no offense to the ladies out there, because you deserve to have music made for your taste too, but they kind of stepped away from their grunge and they softened up so much in the mid 80s. And then by the time late 80s came, when grunge started coming in, then all the dudes were like, well, fuck this hairband stuff, boom. And we listened to, even though I wasn't a huge fan, but, luckily, and that was about the time Tool came out too. When did Tool start?
No, Tool was about 90. I think their first time probably around 93. 92. Opiate, I'd have to look up. And then when Undertow came out, 94. It was before I graduated, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it was a good era. There's some good music in that era.
It said Tool under $50. Tool under Undertow. Hold on. 1993. You were spot on, Evan. Yeah, so that's what I mean. The death of hair bands, I think, was, it happened about 89, going into 90. They were just gone, you
Yeah,
know.
well, it just got so saturated, and the same thing when you had bands like Cinderella and stuff, and their whole costumes and outfits and Winger, and it was pretty boys and the makeup. It just got too. It just like I said, they did themselves in. They oversaturate themselves. The record companies find something that
Shut up,
sells
dude.
records, and
I like
and then they
Winger.
just
I always liked Winger, man. And you know what? At the time, I couldn't tell any of my friends. But yeah, I mean, here I am sitting there wearing a Slayer South of Heaven t shirt and shit. I'm going home and putting on Headed for a Heartbreak.
yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Um, yeah, what an interesting time.
yeah, it was. It was. And if you weren't alive in the 80s, man, you missed some cool shit, man. You missed a
Well,
lot of cool shit.
the whole birth of rap and hip hop and everything, how
Yeah.
it evolved, from the Grandmaster Flash and all that stuff, and the Rapper's Delight. It was a cool transition to see growing up. I mean, how everything developed, and to know the roots of songs, that when you heard that rap song that used that sample, you knew where it came from.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's like a lot of people didn't realize, but if you like go listen to a lot of the West Coast hip hop back in the uh, late '80s, early '90s, and still up to this day, they went back and used a lot of disco beats.
Hmm.
A lot of George Clinton. Like hell, almost all of Dr. Dre's shit can be traced to '70s disco. You know?
Yeah, that was yeah, a lot of your early rap, and then you had Tone Loc came in and he was sampling Van Halen.
Yeah.
Uh, and Jamie's crying, and it was like, wow, that's interesting.
And he did it good.
Oh yeah,
Claudia said classic TV shows. Yeah, that'd be a good one too. Like
yeah,
TV shows from the '80s and '90s.
good suggestion.
Yeah.
They're fun to talk about.
Oh man, what was your favorite TV show in the '80s? Because what you would have been, what?
This is when I was 10 to 20.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh gosh, that's such a broad range TV show.
Just say like either half hour, hour, whatever. Nothing.
I
That was
love Chips, but that was more, I guess, 70s, wasn't it?
was it? I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah. See,
I
I
guess
was.
it was 80s up into the 80s.
Yeah, I think you can count that. See, I was a fan of the show. Two of them that I watched non fucking stop, and I was in front of the TV when the first ones came on. Has to be the A Team and Miami Vice.
I didn't get into Miami Vice till years later, and then I binged it. It was some good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I still watch Miami Vice because I think one of the streaming services that I have, you can watch old episodes of it. And I started from season one, and yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I like it. But yeah,
Yeah,
there were so many. I think was KRP in the '70s.
more 70s.
Yeah, I
But
think
yeah, I
so.
grew up on that.
I think we might have to throw the '70s in there too.
When I think of 80s, I think of Cheers, Night Court. Those are some of my favorites growing up that, I always remember Thursday night.
78 through 82. There was only 4 seasons of that. I'd like to have that on DVD. Just just to have it. Did I really
Which
say
one?
WKRP in Cincinnati?
Oh,
It
yeah.
was only 4 seasons.
But would you really get it out and watch it?
I
No.
think I would. Like on
Really?
a rainy, shitty day, I think I would. And I loved what was the other one? I liked Three's Company.
Yeah.
Because there was always hot chicks on there, always.
And the whole thing, yeah, sexual innuendos and a whole show based around a misunderstanding or someone overheard part of a conversation. It was
Yeah.
just every episode was the same.
But anyway, Evan, we're damn near at 50 minutes.
All right.
And let's call it a show. Go ahead and tell the folks.
Well, thank you for joining us for the best hits of the '80s. I feel like an announcer.
I don't think we agreed with it at all.
We tried.
I think there was a few that hit in the right spot, but for the most part, I think they left a lot of songs off that should have been on, and a few of them they could have left off.
Yeah.
So,
We
anyway,
tried.
we'll yeah, what you want to do 70s, 80s shows next week? Might as
Sure.
well we start talking about it. So that's what we're going to do next week. I'll get a list together of the best television series from the 80s and the 70s, and we'll see what kind of list we come up with.
All
Because
right,
I
sounds
know
good.
there's a lot of stuff we're forgetting. That once we hear it, it's going to be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was a great show.
Who shot Jr.?
I used to watch The Fall Guy also and Hardcastle and McCormick because of that race car in there.
The Coyote.
Yeah, the Coyote. Anyway, gang, we love you. Peace. Be good to one another. We will catch you Sunday. Evan will be singing.
Oh shit.
Tune in. It's going to be fun. I might even do it. I might even do it first just to kind of help him get his nerves because I don't give a shit. I don't. You can't embarrass me because I don't give a shit. So what are you going to think? Wow, he can't sing. Well, no shit. Or I'd be a singer. I wouldn't have been hauling trash for the last 17 years. I'd have been, doing clubs and big venues if I could fucking sing. So you're going to get what you get.
Yeah.
I guess I
Get
told
the best you can.
I guess I told them, Evan. Anyway, guys,
Dang.
peace. We'll catch you Sunday.
Later.
And hold on, let me stop streaming.